Hello again, welcome back to another film. Normally each week I like to shoot 35mm film and a medium format 120 film, but I don't have any medium format colour film, but I do have quite a lot of this slightly out of date February this year Fujifilm C200 that I need to get used up. And obviously this week I received my Rolly C41 kit, Digibase C41 kit. So I thought I'm going to put a roll of colour through this, not a camera that I've used. This is quite a recent purchase, and this is a Yashica J, and this is a rangefinder camera. It has a leaf shutter, and it has got a 4.5 centimeters, so that dates the camera to the early 60s, I'd say. I think this is about 1961. So it's a 45mm f2.8 flash sync. This is the lever for the focusing. I'll show you on the top. There's no meter in this camera. You've just got the shutter speed dial up here, so we've got a 25th. I think we have a B setting. Yeah, we have B, 25, 50th, 100th and a 300th. This is a leaf shutter, so 300 is about the fastest for that era. Even nowadays 500 is the most you normally get out of a leaf shuttered camera. And apertures from 2.8 down to 16. As I said, this is the focusing. Here's a very simple camera, there's no metering, cold shoe, shutter release, wind on, very quiet. There's obviously some method here for adjusting and calibrating the rangefinder. If you look through it, you can see the rangefinder square in the middle of the image there, but you can't really see, it's not going to focus on anything that you'll be able to see. But rangefinders work by you line up so that both images are one on top of the other. On the bottom we've got the button for the rewind, tripod bush, and this is how you open the back on this camera with this thing at the bottom. A couple of lug straps. So a very simple camera. Sunny 16 or a handheld light meter. Film plane indication. Rewind crank. Which comes out from that side. That's your rewind crank. So yeah, very simple camera. Very well made though. And you've got to push in and then slide, he says. Push in and slide, there we go. So you can see in the back there's no focal plane shutter, it's a leaf shutter in the lens. You can see it going. Other than that, it looks very much like any other 35mm camera. Sprockets, take-up spool, pressure plate on the back. And obviously this is where your film's going to sit. So, you can open up the box of this. It's very simple. This goes into the camera upside down, so this part is in the bottom. And that just sits in that side. You pull it across the film plane, and on the take-up spool there will be a slot on this one. So you slot the film leader into there. Make sure it's lining up with the sprocket. Just carry on winding. That's okay. And as always, what I like to do is to rewind the film in the cassette so that the rewind leader will spin as you're advancing the film. So you'll know that the film is going through the camera correctly. There we go. So now I think it's safe to close the back. wind on. Usually 3. I'm ready for the first shot. And this counter doesn't reset when you open the back, so you have to move this around so it lines up. I really should line it up with there, but I've already done the 3, so I'm now on the first shot, and then that will follow on. There's no light meter to set. That is it. There's nothing else to set on the camera. It is ready for the first shot, and to go with that I just need a handheld light meter, or use the Sunny 16 rule. The Sunny 16 rule is that you set your shutter speed as near as you can to the speed of your film. So in this case I would set the shutter speed to 200. Now because this is colour negative film likes overexposure. So when I'm metering for this, it's a 200 film, but I'm actually going to meter as though it's 100 film. So I'm going to give it 1 stop more light than what the box says. So I'm going to be overexposing by 1 stop. So I want to set this for a longer time interval. So if I set that for 100th of a second, and in a sunny day, f16, that should be near enough correct. I'm just going to grab an exposure meter to put with it. Being that this is like a £15 camera, I think this is probably the most suitable light meter that I've got. This is a little Leningrad 8, which is a Soviet light meter. It has an instant attachment, so you can do both reflected and instant light readings. And this was £2. So what I would do on here is I would set this to 100, and I'll meter the shadows and not worry about the highlights. And that's what I'm going to be using this week to shoot this roll of colour film. I won't get it processed straight away because I need to build up a stock of colour films to develop, but I need to get hold of some medium format colour film so that we can shoot them with that on the rollies. And I've also got a few other medium format cameras that I need to introduce to. There you go. I'm just going to tear this end of the box up, and then I can remember that that's what I'm shooting. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it interesting, and yeah, hope to see you in the next one. We see some results either from the black and white, or probably from the black and white. Like I say, I'm not going to be developing the colour for a while until I can get the scanning sorted out for the images, but also I need to build up sort of 5 to 10 films before I can put them through the C41 process as a batch. But thanks for watching, hope you find it interesting, hope to see you in the next one.